Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day today. Welcome back to our channel Film Insight. In today's video, we're going to talk some more about kitchen nightmares and reveal how they're doing now. Sit back and relax as we go straight into the content. Pantaleone's kitchen.
How many pizzas get ordered on a Sunday just in football season?
We did open that Sunday in '86.
Pantaleone's was opened in 1985 in Denver, Colorado by Pete and Paulette Fafalios. In the beginning, the restaurant received a slew of awards and positive reviews, but the owners became too prideful and cocky, which was their downfall. Pete truly believed that his pizza was exquisite, despite the fact that the customers were complaining about the food and the reviews were negative. His son Josh and grandson Gabe tried to knock some sense into him, but it was no use. Finally, Pete and Paulette decided to call Chef Ramsay. Chef Ramsay learns that Pete doesn't like working on Sundays because, according to him, Sundays were devoted to football. Pete simply forgot the fact that weekends call for rush hour at any restaurant.
Why are you closed on Sunday?
Sunday? Because
Yeah.
I want to watch football.
Why didn't Chef Ramsay kick him like a football? Anyway, it doesn't end here. He liked taking naps in the afternoon, as he used to get tired after the long mornings.
The restaurant closes because Pete wants a nap.
Yeah, like they do at Greece.
It would have been a treat if he was a chef in Hell's Kitchen. He would have been eliminated in the very first week. Another ridiculous thing he did was refuse to promote Josh to head chef.
Expect Josh by now.
Yes.
Literally 5 or 6 years at the helm. Why can't you let go?
Since Pete still saw himself as the top dog. And if we take a look at the restaurant's interior, it's incredibly drab. Anyway, by calling his pizza the best in Denver, Pete was ready to impress Chef Ramsay and prove his family wrong. However, Ramsay came to learn that the pizza was greasy and bland.
Oh my God.
Dripping in grease. The oil.
Although Pete wasn't ready to accept this fact, for God's sake, how? But finally, when his family threatened to leave, he was like, no, I will embrace the change. Well, good for him. With Chef Ramsay changing the menu, portions and decorum, Pete had to mess it up on the relaunch day. He got overwhelmed and miscommunicated with Josh, and all the orders were delayed. Chef Ramsay gave him his classic verbal lashing, and the rest of the night went smoothly after that.
I've got one very important question for you.
Am I willing to change?
That's the one.
After kitchen nightmares, Pantaleone's received a lot more positive reviews. Customers complimented the entire staff's service, regarded the restaurant as comfortable, and praised the menu's reasonable prices. But still, the reviews are mixed when it comes to the food. The positive ratings are pretty good if you check out Yelp and TripAdvisor. However, there were complaints about the restaurant's location, which was inconvenient and proved to be one of the major issues. Overall, despite this flaw, I can say they are doing great now. One of the customers reviewed the place 4.0 and wrote, "We came for a quick bite during happy hour before going to a play nearby. We were curious about the fried green tomato and oysters. A regular customer who sat next to me recommended some sliders, so we added that." She acknowledged that not everything on the menu was great, which was a good tip. The martini was refreshing and the oyster was fresh with horseradish and red vinegar sauce. The fried green tomatoes and sliders were pretty good as well. As an oyster lover, I still prefer Angelo's. Another customer gave the place 2.0 and wrote, "I know this is a 5-star place from previous experiences. However, my BF and I were disappointed with both of our steaks tonight. Both were practically well done. I ordered a medium for my fillet and he ordered medium rare plus for his strip. We didn't want to send back the items. The flavors were still great." Old Hitching Post Restaurant and Tavern.
I don't care who you are, Ramsay or no Ramsay.
I'll get in the ring and fight you every day.
Tom purchased Old Hitching Post Restaurant and Tavern in 2005 to give to his daughter Andrea, but ended up being the one to run it. Why did you purchase it for her then? In any case, the restaurant was going downhill due to the family's issues and Tom's awful behavior.
Depends if you gotta put 1 year in the freezer one day. All right.
You haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
On the way with Chef Ramsay, Tom even whined about his daughter, that she was useless, not a hard-working person, and unfit to be an owner. Janice, the restaurant manager, said the same too. Believe me though, these were all false accusations, and the problem was actually Tom. Thanks to Andrea, Chef Ramsay got to see how horrible of a father Tom was.
You're not ready to take over.
That's not true.
Even though she was running the restaurant, her not-so-dear father took all the money they earned from the business. Later on, Chef Ramsay decided to taste test the food. Predictably, the food wasn't fresh at all. It was cold in the middle, and the most shocking part, it was store-bought.
I can't do that to my tummy. It's dreadful. Obviously, store-bought.
I don't even think someone who is starved would want to eat this food.
Listen, the longest I owned the place, I never heard of one complaint.
The next thing that I will say will make you go, WTF? So when Chef Ramsay asked the waitress if the food was fresh or not, Tom forced her to lie. So Tom took Chef Ramsay's critique as an insult, and no, I'm not surprised at all. Chef Ramsay found out about the outdated bland food fiasco and Tom's fake intentions to behave well in front of the chef. That's when Ramsay decided to reach out to the staff, and no surprises here, the feedback was all negative. Trust me, he didn't take it well. The funny thing is, Tom believed very bluntly that the customers love frozen food.
Regardless if it was frozen,
You thought I'd like that?
well, I really did.
It's an insult to America.
In this area, that's what they love.
Buddy, if customers loved frozen food, why would they come to a restaurant? A quick stop at Walmart would do, right? By this time, Chef Ramsay was done. He took matters into his own hands and put Tom in his place.
Whole business is run on your system. Why are you so controlling, Tom?
It wasn't controlling type of thing, it was just a routine.
After an overnight change to the menu and the interior, the relaunch was amazingly successful. Andrea was the rock star that night. As of now, Old Hitching Post restaurant is strong and going well. It has a 4.0 rating. The customer reviews are generally positive, though some complained about the staff being rude and not attentive enough. One of the customers who gave the restaurant a 5 rating wrote, "Good restaurant and great food, plus the service was fantastic. I would recommend this restaurant to anyone that wants a comfortable meal in a relaxing environment." It seems like they finally found the proper stride to keep things going. Yanni's Greek House.
Come on,
He said it was. I just want.
leave my window now.
Okay.
Yanni's Greek restaurant has been running for over 3 decades in Seattle, Washington. Initially, the restaurant was doing great, but in the late 2000s, the inflow of customers started to drop, and they were nearly crushed with debt.
How much money are you losing?
Between 8 and 10,000.
The family-owned restaurant was passed down to Peter Augustio in 2007. Peter, the owner, explained how the family lacked focus and dedication and gave an impression of a soft boy towards the staff to Chef Ramsay. Later, Chef Ramsay learned from others that Peter was not ready to change the menu even after knowing how outdated it was. Moments later, the family turned into quarreling Simpsons.
You know, it's hard for me to just give up this place.
We're
It's
not
hard
asking you to give up.
We're just asking
you
to change.
I couldn't.
Chef Ramsay, like always, ordered some food, and the one thing that piqued my interest was the pumpkin hummus. It even piqued his interest. Now, as much as it sounds unique, the taste was just the opposite.
Not make sense.
I don't like the combination.
Oh my God.
Chef Ramsay returned all the food that he had ordered. It was just a lump of bland, greasy, and sauceless food. Peter was definitely someone who doesn't take criticism well. He lost his cool when his wife agreed with Chef Ramsay's feedback.
You want to go sit with him and chit-chat? How to criticize my food? Get out of my kitchen. Just please. Please, I don't need your criticism.
He was in dismay. He wasn't ready to accept that the food quality was terrible. When Chef Ramsay returned for the dinner service, boy was it chaotic. So much so that you would have gotten a headache. The very first dish had overcooked meat, and customers soon started sending their food back. As it was not enough for Chef Ramsay to see those disgusting ingredients, he came across a bucket of moldy beef. How the hell didn't he throw up? Then sometime later, Peter announces that they won't serve food anymore.
Just close the line down, man. I don't give a what you guys do.
We need to shut down the restaurant. Why? We need to shut down the restaurant. No one's getting food.
Hello? How can you force the customers to leave on an empty stomach? It looked like Peter was still in denial. Like, seriously, even after the disastrous dinner? But thank God the wife was calm and handled him well. After that, Chef Ramsay changed the menu, gave the restaurant a nice makeover, and even introduced them to a new POS system. Even though the relaunch night had some problems, it still went smoothly. As of now, they have added some of their old dishes along with Chef Ramsay's menu, and they currently have a 4-star rating on Yelp and over 1,800 positive reviews on their Facebook page. One of the customers gave the restaurant a 4-star on Yelp and wrote the service was great, in the sense the servers were extremely kind and attentive. Shout out to Karen. Our food did take a little longer to come out, but once it came, it was very good. I will go again. Looks like they're finally settled. Leone's.
Is business that flat that you're watching games and trying to deal with customers at the same time?
Yes, it is, Chef.
Leone's is based in Montclair, New Jersey, founded by Rose in 1996. The restaurant had positive reviews and was great among the community until Rose fell into a coma due to a kidney stone operation and her son Michael took overall operations. Now, of course, you must have thought that Michael was as good as his mother, or maybe even better, but unfortunately he was not. He was nowhere close to being as skilled and had poor leadership skills. Even though the restaurant was open, it was almost as if it had already closed. The good part was that Rose came back, but it was far too late to make changes, since the restaurant was already in a massive pool of debt.
Okay, and how long have you been back in the business?
2 months.
So you just come back now?
So much for carrying a mother's legacy, right? Chef Ramsay realized that Michael failed to lead and guide the staff, and he did very little work.
Michael says you gotta have more.
Michael also had very little interest in doing something about it. Because of his lazy bones, the reservations fell. Moreover, the restaurant was filthy and the food was moldy. Now, who would want to eat in a restaurant like that? If the moldy mess wasn't enough, the restaurant had a 15-page long menu featuring 100 items. You gotta be kidding me. But was the food good? It was horrible. It even looked awful. The clams that Chef Ramsay ordered were not even cleaned. How could Michael be so deluded as to think that the restaurant was good? During the dinner service, Chef Ramsay was dismayed after seeing the messy kitchen, and all the dishes were sent back. The most disgusting and shocking part was their storage units. It was pure horror. After seeing the health hazard, Chef Ramsay closed the kitchen.
Everybody, I'm sorry to interrupt you, everybody. I'm sad to say and embarrassed to say that we're closing down Leone's for the night.
Wonder if anyone went down with food poisoning. I hope not. Michael, being stubborn, was not ready to accept his mistakes. Finally, after Ramsay drilled some sense into him, Michael showed some changes. Ah, the sweet fragrance of improvement. The restaurant was transformed into a beautiful bistro, was given a modern POS, a new menu, and most importantly, it was cleaned. Oh yes, Michael needed some push like a baby during the relaunch, but it was still a successful night. Leone's reviews aren't quite what I expected. On Yelp, their rating is 3.5, and the same goes for TripAdvisor, though Facebook has a rating of 4.6. On Yelp, one customer gave a 5-star and wrote, "This Italian restaurant fronts as a pizza shop, but it has a full menu and area seating. Recommended by a friend, and it didn't disappoint. The food was excellent, and the restaurant is located right over the Bayonne Bridge. Very convenient for Staten Island. Family owned and operated for years. Give them a try." Another user gave a 1-star for a cold salad and said, "Absolute nightmare. Wouldn't eat here again." Well, that's all for today. Did you visit any of these restaurants? Let us know in the comment section down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like and share. Also, hit the bell icon to never miss out on our next video.